Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Jacquelene. You're on A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV, coming to you live from my car in Melbourne. I've been on the road a bit. Have we all? What an interesting time to be alive, right? I had a fantastic time at Morwell. It's my first public expo in a long time, at least a year, maybe a bit more. Just with Melbourne lockdowns and a number of other things going on, it's like, all right, well, Morwell's the first one I came back to a couple of years ago when I took a bit of hiatus from that too. So I sort of came back again there too. And I had a great crowd to the audience talk. So thank you so much to the people that were there and validated the readings I was doing live and just randomly picking people out of the crowd. That was really cool. And beautiful audience. They were very welcoming. So thank you also to the people of Morwell for coming along. It was a pretty good turnout to the event. A lot of people from the local area coming on down. And thank you also to Maureen and Leslie of Sacred Mist, which is a shop in Glenferrie Road down in Melbourne. They run the Psychic and Wellbeing Expos right across Victoria and also parts of New South Wales. So I was there with them at Morwell, and I'll be going to Albury and Pakenham and Warrnambool, a few other places. Can't remember the dates or when that is, but it'll be on my website. This week I was going to talk about the tarot card, the Chariot, to move on to that next card. But also tonight, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, that's Melbourne time, I'll be doing a talk on love bombing and negging and things like that. So if you're wanting a reading about that, to know, is this person love bombing me? What are the sort of traits here? What am I dealing with? We can actually look at that for you live. So whatever time of the world you're in, we're GMT plus 10 at this time of the year. So if you're trying to dial that in, you can connect with me. I'll put up the time zone differences on Jacquelene Closemore Live on Facebook. If you're wanting to find that, there's also an event page there. That's going to be something I'll be talking about. So you can have a free reading there, and you can also ask questions about love bombing or negging, and I can answer them on air and sort of go into that. It's a very interesting area, I say with rolled eyes, because it's quite a challenge for people. Love bombing is often sort of seen as this over-the-top sense of, wow, you're beautiful. It's kind of like being Schrodinger's person. You're beautiful 1 minute and either ugly or not even known the next when they disappear, which is commonly the case with love bombing. They often will disappear, or if they're not getting their way, that's when the negging comes in. So it's like suddenly you're fat, ugly, stupid, even though you were beautiful and a goddess a minute ago. So it's sort of your polite decline or not quite going along with their manipulation often results in the negging or them disappearing if you call them out on it. So, how do you deal with that? I've had a few people coming to me asking that question, which is why I've sort of really gone on about this and am making something of it to look at. I've also experienced it earlier in the year. It's kind of weird. I was like, pretty sure this is love bombing. And then a friend said, Jacqueline, I'm pretty sure this is love bombing. And then someone else said to me, pretty sure this is love bombing. And I thought, three of us can't be wrong. So I really looked into it and went, yeah, no, this is what that is. And it's actually more common than you think. So just watch out for that. So if you're wanting to catch me and sort of catch up about that, we'll be workshopping it. You can ask me questions live on the go. I'll answer them then and there. So that's what's going to be possible. But today, let's get on to the Chariot card. So whether you can see that at the moment, I'm just going to put it over here. Here we go. So in the Major Arcana of the Tarot, Chariot card is number 7. And here we've got the white horse and the black horse next to each other. So it's sort of like this polarity of light and dark. And when we think of darkness, it's not like, oh, something's dark, therefore it's bad. If you think of fertility and you think of the dormancy of the earth and a seed underneath the earth, that's the most fertile place. If you sort of think of that's where new life is beginning as far as the plant world goes. So it's when that seedling, does its germination, and it sort of starts breaching the surface, comes out, and here's these leaves coming out. That's your plant sort of growing. Well, where did it come from? It came from that form, that structure, that solidity. And so That's what that dark horse is actually showing. And the light horse, it's kind of a bit clouded at the moment. And I'll put a picture of this card up on the Jacquelene Closemore live page in due course so that you'll be able to see that. But the light horse is sort of seen of that, if we sort of think of the pillar of form and the pillar of force, that's more to do with the pillar of force. So this is sort of more expansive and, a bit floaty and sometimes a bit of trouble with boundaries, hey? Funny about that because the Chariot card is all about boundaries, not just going somewhere. So we sort of think of the energy of, the Chariot card, meaning moving forward. We actually see the Chariot behind the horses, but there's not actually harnesses on those horses. So how does a Chariot drive? Well, it drives through faith. It drives through, will. And we think of that Chariot being, and here he's here. Hello, dude. Chariot sort of appearing there. It's sort of a bit fogged over for some reason. Anyhow, he's in there, right there behind that, what looks like a fence almost, that Chariot sort of forming a fence. So when we think of the Chariot card and it's linked to the Kapala tree of life, we're dealing with Heth, which in English means fence. And so the Chariot card is about boundaries as well as moving forward. So we sort of think of 7 being about boundaries as well. The image on the Chariot card is of this Chariot driving away from a city. So often with people with a 7 life path number, there's this energy of having to learn boundaries, having to learn to contain things. And we sort of think of in the Kabbalah tree of life being about fence, and it's about, what we keep in, but also what we keep out. And being able to drive forward our new way. So we sort of think of that he's driving away from the city. So he's driving away from what he knew or what was into the new and the unknown. And sometimes we need a leap of faith to do that. Sometimes we have to break the boundaries and limits of our mind to be able to go beyond what we thought was possible, to challenge ourselves. And when we think of the 2 horses, they can either drive in harmony together or they can break apart. So when we're thinking of, gains in society and changes, who are those changes benefiting, and are they really realistic, and are they harmonious, or are they just creating more havoc? So often that can be a really good contemplation for this card. And quite often 7 life path number people need to create boundaries with certain people. And sometimes that does mean that you can have absences of them where they're going their own way for a while, literally going on a journey, or they might be cutting you out of their journey. There could be a range of things going on there. So look at it from different angles when you're meditating on that card, because although cards can have static meanings, there can also be individual interpretations to the person you've got in front of you or to your own life. And Carl Jung used to actually shuffle a tarot deck every day of his life, pull out one card and meditate on that. So that can actually be a really good use of connecting into your intuition, which is also relating to that 7, that spiritual mysticism. That's all I've got time for today. I'm going to talk tonight, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. If you want to catch up there, talk about love bombing, negging, and maybe the Chariot card if you pop in there too. Catch you next week. In the meantime, more shows on A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. Catch you later.